Good morning, or afternoon, or whatever time it is that you're watching this. Um, it's me, Mr. Johnston. I'm back. More math. I hope you guys are doing good. Um, we have 12 days left, or 12 lessons of math left in the school year, with only 3 a week. That's what I got for you. I wish there was more, but I've got a crude kind of outline of what I want this to look like. Here's our 12 days. We have our last week here, which I have empty right now. We're gonna probably fill that with something a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more fun, because it is the last week of school, and my grades are due by like this Wednesday, and I don't want to cram you guys with a bunch of work to do the day before that. So what we have here is our last unit. We did some review, which we would have normally done for the air anyway, but we just put it into 2 days last week. So if you haven't got that done, please do. But this is what it looks like from here on out. We're going to go through fractions this week. Add and subtract like fractions today should be quick and easy. I promise it's not a lot. It's just going to be a quick refresher. Tomorrow we're going to add and subtract unlike fractions. That takes a little bit more practice. And then mixed numbers will be released on Wednesday. All of this I'd like it due by Friday, but if you get it in a day after that or so, I'm pretty lenient. Just talk to me, okay? Next week we're gonna start integers. We're gonna do adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers for 4 days, and then we're gonna review for a day, and then you're gonna take your test over all of this stuff right here. It's going to be adding, subtracting, unlike fractions and mixed numbers, and then all your operations on integers. And we're gonna take a test on that, and that will be your final grade. So all of this completion work up here, and then your last test grade here. So those of you guys that need to get that little grade boost to make sure you're passing, make sure you take this last unit seriously. Not only will it be good stuff to learn, but it is excellent in preparing you for next year. I've had a lot of good comments from the math teachers in 7th grade that tell me that doing this unit with my kids at the end of the year really helped them next year. So please take this serious. I promise it's going to be good for you. All right, here we go. I'm going to put this PDF up. We're not going to do all of these. This is a 7th grade worksheet, so some of these problems have negative numbers in them, which I have not taught you yet. So we're going to exclude those. Any of these that have negative number answers or negative numbers in the problem, say like number 13 down here, we are not going to do that problem. Okay, we're just going to be doing the practice problems of adding, subtracting, adding, subtracting like fractions. So here we go. Like fractions, 3/8 plus 3/8. Problem number 1 on this sheet. Let me do this right here. 3/8 plus 3/8. Here's the thing about fractions. The bottom, first of all, they're all division problems, something you should be taught at a very young age. This is 3 divided by 8 plus 3 divided by 8. Literally, that's what it is. They are all division problems. But in terms of pieces of something or fractions, you've also been taught that this is 3 out of 8 pieces. So for example, if this were a candy bar, which I know I use the example a lot, but it works. Then we cut this candy bar into 8 pieces. And then 3/8 would be 3 of those 8 pieces. That's how much 3/8 is. 1, 2, 3. That right there, that's how much 3/8 is. Okay, that's how much it is. So if I ask you to add that much to this much over here, which is the same, cut this into 8 pieces. There's 1, 2, 3/8. If I ask you to add these 3/8 to these 3/8, then I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those pieces. But what's really important about those pieces is that they are the same size. Well, what size are they? They're eighths. We call them eighths. There's an eighth, 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 and there's an eighth. So how many eighths do we have now? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. We have 6 out of what would be 8, right? So then we have a total of 6/8. Now here's the cool thing about adding and subtracting like fractions. If your pieces, right, these pieces are the same size, as in these are both eighths, 3/8 and 3/8, then all you have to do is add the numerators together, add the number of pieces that you have, and you get your answer. 3/8 plus 3/8 is 6/8. Now that is a good answer. But if you've been with me all year, I'm not about good answers. I'm about great answers. And 6/8, not a great answer. It's a good one. It is technically correct, equivalent, but we can simplify this. 6 and 8 can both be divided down by 2. Greatest common factor is 2. We divide those by 2, you end up with 3/4, which is a much better answer. 3/8 plus 3/8 is 6/8, simplified to 3/4. So the answer to number 1 there, 3/4. And that's what I'm looking for in these ones today, guys. We've got a subtraction problem next, 7/10 minus 5/10. Again, an example where, and you'll find this all today, your denominators are all the same, so your pieces are the same size. So when you add or subtract them, you just keep the denominator the same. One biggest mistake I will see people make is I will see people try to do 7/10 minus 5/10, and they'll try to do this. 7/10 minus 5/10, and they will say, oh, well, 7 minus 5 is 2, and 10 minus 10 is 0, so 2/0. No, that's not a thing. We're not subtracting the denominators. The denominator doesn't actually stand for a number. It stands for a size. How big are the pieces? They're tenths. The top number is how many we have of them. So we have 7/10 and we have 5/10. It's almost like a label. So the denominator doesn't change. That's the size of pieces that we have. So if you do 7/10 minus 5/10, you end up with 2/10. And again, this can be simplified as well because the greatest common factor of 2 and 10 is 2. You divide those down and you get 1/5. So 7/10 minus 5/10 is equal to 1/5. Okay. There's plenty of problems on this page. I'm going to go quickly through this page, and I'm going to cross off the ones that I do not want you to do. Okay. Because some of them are going to end up with negative answers. Some have negative numbers. Mostly are the ones at the bottom down here. I am going to do one more with you guys. And let's do number... I want to get one that has a mixed number answer. We might not have any. Yeah, we do. Down here, number 22. If you guys look at number 22, we've got 5/6 plus 4/6. And we're talking about sixths here, right? We have 5 of them and we have 4 of them. And if you add those together, then you get 10/6, which is an improper fraction, which means you have more pieces than the size of the pieces that you have. You have 10 of them. Well, here's the thing. If you have 6/6, that's one whole. If you have more than that, then you have more than one whole, and that's what we call a mixed number. So if you have 6/6, that's one whole, and then you have 4 extra, so you would have 1 and 4/6. Some of you know that you could also divide this, 10 divided by 6, because all fractions are division problems. 6 goes into 10 one time. You subtract that, you have 4 left over, so you have 1 and 4/6, which again can be simplified. Because the greatest common factor of 4 and 6 is 2, so you could end up with 1 and 2/3 for your final answer for number 22. This is review. Okay, we did not do adding and subtracting fractions specifically this year, but this is review, definitely from 5th grade. Let me cross off the ones I do not want you to do because they will be a little bit confusing because we haven't done it yet. Number 12's off here, number 15, 18, 21. Let's cross off these ones. The rest of these you guys should be able to handle. And it's not that many problems, and they are they're not very exhaustive. They're pretty quick and easy problems. I would expect this to take you no more than 10 minutes, guys. I'm going to put a couple of these up on the Google form for you to answer, and then you're done. Peace.